The famous underworld scene in Book 11 has been the source of inspiration for later poets such as Virgil, Dante, and Ezra Pound. It also provides valuable insight into Greek religious practice and views of the afterlife. According to Greek geography, the ocean was conceived as a great river that encircled the known world. Thus, the ocean is constantly referred to as a stream. The underworld, Hades, is located at the limit of the river, in a place that the sun does not reach. Following the detailed instructions of Circe, Odysseus performs a series of sacrifices in order to appease the gods of the underworld. He pours the blood of the sacrificial animals into a bowl. The dead souls desire to drink the blood, but following Circe's instructions, Odysseus prevents them from doing so in order that he might first speak with the prophet Tiresias. The picture of Hades bears certain similarities to the Mesopotamian underworld and the Hebrew Sheol. It's a dark and gloomy place. The dead souls are not physical beings. When Odysseus tries to embrace his beloved mother, he cannot hold her. Quote, 3 times I started toward her, and my heart was urgent to hold her, and 3 times she fluttered out of my hands like a shadow or a dream. When he fails to understand this, she explains to him that this is, quote, what happens when they die to all mortals. The sinews no longer hold the flesh and the bones together, and once the spirit has left the white bones, all the rest of the body is made subject to the fire's strong fury, but the soul flitters out like a dream and flies away. The human soul is immaterial and separable from the body. The souls are thus referred to as shades or shadows. But despite this, Odysseus is able to frighten off the dead with his sword, which one would expect would simply pass through them. But even if it didn't, the souls are dead anyway, and it's hard to imagine that they would fear being injured or even killed once again in their present condition. Equally odd is that the spirits desire to drink the sacrificial blood that Odysseus has prepared. Drinking and eating, of course, hardly makes sense if one does not have a body. But this notion is common in other ancient cultures, such as that of the Egyptians, who buried their dead with food and drink. These contradictions point to a conception of immortality that's still closely tied to the human realm. The dead souls are very much like the living and are concerned exclusively with affairs of the living. There's no conception here of a higher sphere where the souls live an elevated, more sublime existence. The Greek conception has not yet fully emancipated itself from the natural sphere. The Greeks, at least in Homer, thus believe in immortality in the sense that the souls live on in Hades after the death of the body. But as with the underworld in the Epic of Gilgamesh and the Sheol in the Old Testament, the continued existence in Hades is by no means a desirable one. Odysseus meets his fallen comrade from Troy, the mighty warrior Achilles, who tells him, quote, I would rather follow the plow as thrall to another man, one with no land allotted to him and not much to live on, than be a king over all the perished dead. This is a profound statement coming from a man known for his warrior ethic, where personal honor is the supreme principle. Life in the underworld is so odious to him that it would be better to be a slave and still be alive. To a great warrior like Achilles, the thought of being a slave was absolutely the lowest, most humiliating and disgraceful thing imaginable. But yet, even this is better than life in Hades.